Four angry men move into the Wolves' position. WWX goes down, so does Fan. And that is a really swift wipe over onto four angry men. Nicely found there, and the Wolves stay alive. 4 eliminations coming through for the Chinese squad that direct qualified with invite. Nova, another Chinese squad, going to be going down as well, potentially, if Fnatic has anything to say about it. And Nova fall.
Alter Ego, 4 eliminations, meaning they picked up all 4 members of Nova, the current reigning champions. I think if anything's a win today for Alter Ego, that one right there is it. Fantastic stuff from them. What an aggressive push. And again, we should maybe see a little bit more of that coming out from Alter Ego. It's worked a fair few times where they have just full sent it. They look like they're very comfortable in a team fight, but maybe a little afraid to take those team fights more often than not. Very well done there to Alter Ego. They're going to be hugely happy with that.
They also managed to slam a knock over towards Vampire, so that's going to slow down Vampire's position. With the circle as it is, they have a valuable south side area under their control in the buildings that they occupy. The high ground that they have, valuable, certainly, to be moving on with. Geek Fam, ooh, they've been rolled on down. It's actually not even sure who managed to pick that one up. I think DRS did manage to get the rundown and the flush through. Fireflux, they are getting pressured on towards as they tried to send out to the western side away from Yasnaya, as Influence Kemen do pretty much control the entirety of Yasnaya Fields from the central area. Fireflux will fall down and out of the final game of the day. Match number 6 will end there for them.
It's still kind of a horrible position to be in. I think Influence Kemen made the best out of a bad situation, which is a case of we're just going to take shots at everyone who tries to cross this field, because that was exactly what we saw 4AM fall prey to, which is they knew they had to make the crossing, and they had to make the crossing quick, send directly into Wolves, and then you get out of the vehicle, you just have to take that team fight right off the bat. You don't have much time to react. It's just pure mechanical skill in that moment.
A nade out the side of the window leaves S2G on 2 players. A lovely nade over the top from Revo, spots Hamzy exactly where they needed him. The flush comes through from Carrillo. Only Mythic has gone down for Alpha 7. And this is how they might want to start their run for 100 points if they're lucky. If they behave themselves, if they've been good this year, maybe they'll be given one.
Yeah, very good play there coming through from Alpha 7 so far. S2G, last player standing, tries to pick up the teammate, but Alpha 7, again, it's that momentum. They're going to keep pushing it, going forward. There's no stopping this.
Kayovsky?
S2G just sends in the water. And so does Kayovsky from Influence Kemen.
I've no idea where Influence Kemen just came from. They must have sent straight out those fields. They needed to find a way westward, and this is apparently the way they want to go. Unfortunately, Alpha 7 will try and slow them down. 1 knock over towards Alpha 7 leaves 2 active. Same story for Influence Kemen. Federal unlikely to be able to get back, but if he can fall over that headland towards the rest of the players from his team, he should be resable. Unfortunately, the health bar will not support that effort. And 2 players now remain for Influence Kemen. Kelsey swimming in the river under the bridge, and everybody's going to need to shift down south.
This is a rip and tear coming through from Alpha 7 so far. They're looking to put the final touches on this northern side circle. Next one heads up central. Still that riverbank is in for the western side. Kelsey could maybe swim ashore and crawl his way in and just play for the end game. Get as many points as possible for S2G with where they're currently placed on the rankings. I think trying to go for that top 6, that top 5 is probably the smartest thing for that boy to do at this point in time. But T2K, Wolves, Inco still holding strong in that compound. But they'll have to move west as well.
Alter Egos on the southeast side will have to hold off against Geek Fam and potentially even push in against Vampire. Geek Fam will not be able to slow down here, though. They will have to go over this ridge towards the buildings there. The smokes bloom pretty close to Alter Egos. It cuts off the sightlines from up top, but does allow potential close pushes to come through. Vampire's holding off against DRS, trying to swing around wide. And it goes well. 2 players now left for DRS, Delta and Gianti. On the south. Sneaking around, trying to hold it out. Vampire huddled, hunkered down under the watchful gaze of Geek Fam and Alter Egos. Hang on a minute, T2K, they're taking the shots over towards Alpha 7, giving out heavy punishment. Only 1 player left standing. Revo flushed out. Carrillo, the last available for Alpha 7. No 100 points today.
Done and dusted. Looked like it could go further. We said that T2K were looking kind of like that team that nothing special came through, but taking down the first place team in the lobby. fairly cleanly. It's certainly something to be proud of there. With 7 eliminations, takes them up to 30. Placed them just behind Butterdam so far in 11th place. Great nade. There's a fair bit of damage. Now Lil Boy's looking to send one back. S2G, last player remaining.
Oh my goodness me, Kowalski super low. You have to stick this, but the nade's coming through. An excellent answer, drop down, evade the nade. Kowalski needs to get res. Can he get it? Can he tag it? Oh, he's managed to fade the nade also. And 2 players stay alive from Influence Kemen. No, what? How did that happen? Was the blue zone there? Did he jump off the res?
I think he might have jumped off the res for just a second. Point in the day, those kind of mistakes do come through. Just a little tap. That's it. That's all it takes. Especially when he's on that amount of HP. Basically as thick as a feather there. Looking down to Wolves. Still going pretty strong so far. Did lose 1 player in the process. VPE also lost 1. I think this would be a good opportunity for VPE to put some points on the board right now from this south side. And if they can, you know, maybe tomorrow is a little bit easier because still, right, 21 points. Only 20 points behind a 5th place here currently at the moment with Geek Fam at 43. You know, there's a real opportunity with a chicken dinner at the end of the day. That 1st place is still in sight. I think when we get through to that 6th game tomorrow, that's where we'll start to see the leaderboard solidify a little bit more.
Next circle coming in just a moment, in just a second, and it heads up north, away from Inco. They will have to leave their compound finally, but it goes towards the last player from Influence Kemen and towards T2K with a massive chunk of this next circle available to them. Butterdam as well from that eastern side.
Inco still going though for Brazil.
Sheesh.
Looking at it forward on the Rigo. Goodness me, quick shots, quick fire.
Ponbit lights up Micah and lights up Jakarta as well. The crowd goes wild for the shots. Beautiful through the window there. Snipes wants to move forwards, but fantastic Fnatic going to lead the charge in. Potato with the backup as well. They manage to get the side swipe through. Potato hits the deck behind the wall, drains the magazines of the defense as well for Geek Fam, and they are not able to land the shots on the answer, but the 2 back players at the back for Alterigo. Oh, gonna go low. Oh no, Potato taken down. 1 player now standing. It's just Ponbit. He was able to do so much from the back before, but now Micah is back up and kicking. Snipes as well, moves forwards. A flush over onto Fnatic. 3 players active for Geek Fam. 1 has been found. Ponbit with a second as well. And that's Geek Fam going down. He stays alive, and Alterigo with the last match of the day. Keep 2 of themselves up, and it's 6 eliminations.
From Nova all the way to Geek Fam, they've certainly set themselves a pace here in this final game. Looking to go a little bit further now. Inco, 4 players alive, will have to skirt themselves out of this corner over on the east. Moving up towards Wolves to position. This is where we start to hit those wheels, start getting them screeching a little bit as we pass over that starting line.
Go on, Ponbit. The hero for Alterigo, now looking to smoke his cross, but with Inco paying attention to you, you've got to wonder how likely it is you get much further here. Ponbit hits the deck, looks for a heal, but the zone is closing still. It will not tag him before he gets the heal off, and actually manages to stand up, send some shots back towards Inco, and gets on his feet again. Those 2 legs doing so much work. Shimmies behind the tree, stays in it. Squash has yet to find the angle, and finally, oh, a little bit of craziness to end out their day. 6 eliminations. They'll take it. They'll take it.
That gives time for Vampire Esports to move over towards that position, though. They certainly got some information from the 3rd party. They were close by enough. Wolves also take a casualty. I think that's down to 2 players now. 5 eliminations. T2K at 8. Really strong spot they're currently holding over towards that northern side, and no one can challenge them.
Wolves, 2 players alive against Inco, playing with 2 up the top as well. Becker behind the tree, auto shotgun, wants to move closer. Pickfeet is there, and IHC are pushing in behind the Wolves. Squash is down and close to the Wolves with IHC bearing down upon them. It's unlikely you get Squash back up, but if the time is right, might be able to get it. No, Beautiful sees to it, and that's not going to be possible. Alex does get spotted out. And 10 eliminations coming from T2K from the bottom of the tables. They have had a pretty solid match. Number 6 into the top 5 they go. See how much further they can get.
Wolves right now still looking to send this a little bit closer. Inco Well, Nenebede still up. Becker. Wolves, beautiful, goes down, and Inko might be able to capitalize on the top of this. Oh, the nade goes over the top. Pig feet will not continue on that one. I think Nenebede might be able to find the shotgun play.
He's still got a pump action shotgun. Surprised about that. Interesting choice, to be sure. Wolves.
They've looted nothing. You can see from his gear.
Yeah, they must have been completely bare there. Big feet. Oh, no, he knows Becker's there. Cooks the nade. That's almost certainly a knock, and Nenebede will be left alone. Hopefully they spotted where the nade came from. The buggy should be a giveaway, but IHC are pushing in as well. They don't want to let the players here go. Look at that. T2K managed to steal that elimination point away. And a phenomenal game coming through from the team from Nepal as well.
Currently influenced Kevin, Lil Boy, on the northern side. Not moved an inch at the moment. May even look for a very good finish here for themselves.
Nenebede outlasts the Wolves, but close by there is danger. Legend steps forwards. They don't know he's here. He steps up with a pump action, goes for one. Doesn't get the knock. He turns his attention the wrong way, and now he's going to hit the deck and bite the dust for it. A little bit of a slip. He thought he got the knock instantly, but panic sets in, and now we're down to 3. Influence Kemin with Lil Boy against a 4-player roster from T2K on 14 eliminations, and IHC with 3 still pushing in from the south side.
An absolute standout game here from Nepal, from T2K. Really brought this game home. Influence Kemin still going. This is just 2 players looking down towards IHC. The rest are trying to hold out. That 1 player for Influence Kemin and Lil Boy. This guy is one hell of a snaker though.
If IHC can do a lot of work on this south side, even if they go down, that does give Lil Boy a little bit of an opportunity for Influence Kemin to step up further. But no matter what, this is a big point bonus for Influence Kemin. He has 2 himself to deal with on this north side. They've repositioned. They've left only 1 over on this north side now. IHC, they managed to get this red through as well. A lot of pressure being put on here, and the shift goes southwest as well. IHC have the inside track on this flank.
Yeah, so technically you also have a potential 1v1, and that knock is absolutely huge just as the circle shifts across. This is going to slow down T2K massively.
Another nade launched by Godless. Lil Boy has got a powerful position here. They're right next to each other. Look at that. The off angles for both of these teams here will struggle to find any sort of safety. Everybody dashing now towards this circle. T2K with 1 player down, looking to try and stick this res. Demo, he's on the downstairs, but there's an upstairs threat as well. Jane is there still. Rig moving on in to add to the pressure. And in the midst of it all, do they know that Lil Boy is here?
Mark 14 by the bankside, looking to take this chicken dinner home. Store it away in the vaults. Demo bandaging up, has the threat above him. Now T2K kind of split off between one another. This was a really good regroup and hold from IHC. From a very tough situation to a beautiful nade that opened up that shift, that rotation over towards this spot where Jane currently is playing. Riggs had to move up though. They're trying to evict. Demo moves out. This is crazy stuff, and he needs his teammate.
Rick, what are you doing? Miscommunication bites them, and T2K losing a forward outpost. That is so much ground for IHC to try and move through. Lil Boy also potential to capitalize on this. 2 players at the back for T2K. There's no way you get this res now. Demo giving them the old do-si-do, and Rig spoils his own team's chances here. Influence Kemin might even be in with a shot if things go pear-shaped for either of these 2 teams. Godless falls, maybe answering with a knockover on up towards T2K, but it's not going to happen. Godless flushed, and there it is. Zyol finally standing up for IHC. Legend now in the thick of it. Last zone about to encroach. Zyol moves through. They know there's a further player all the way out wide. And IHC, probably the only team with the full information here that there is a solo snaking around. Demo, you can see that he is moving through. Zyol, a really brilliant opener. And there's 2 players from IHC active. Low HP from Zyol. Rig looking for Demo, hits the deck for the drop shot, and maybe able to find it. Demo falls down, and there's a chance for Influence Kemin to come through strong here. Rig last standing for T2K will keep them going. Zyol is there. And it's 1 versus 1 versus 1. No chance of reses. And Lil Boy is still going. Ziol from behind the rock looks for the challenge. The burn forces him back, and Rig looks for a second. Managed to get the heal off, so he's got the HP to play with. Full magazines on both sides, and in they go for the flush. Rig still active here. Ziol, no nades to fear. Pushes up high on the rock. That is bold as brass. Ziol still fading it around the edge. And Lil Boy's just being quiet.
Waiting for this fight to conclude. He has full broadside over towards Joel. Joel's done a marvellous job to take down the majority of the players. The T2K keeps looking down towards Influence Kevin's position here. Rig goes for some HP. A little bit more. Kemin found. Joel is absolutely putting on a masterclass right now. Looks to finish it off.
There it is around the side of the rock. It's IHC. To be able to take things down right at the closing moments. T2K, a disastrous nade from Rig. Started a collapse that brought down the House of Cards.
I mean, Joel, from the moment he stepped up to the plate there,